Sky Outdoors, powered by Town Pump, fueling your next outdoor adventure, is also brought to you by Counter Assault, your ultimate protection in the wild. Montana Army Navy, get it, get out, and live it. McKenzie River Pizza, the best pie in the Big Sky. Glacier Real Estate, your real estate connection to Northwest Montana. And the Outdoor Report is provided by Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks.
Hi, and thanks for joining us this week on Big Sky Outdoors. I'm Matt Redding along with Joel Stevenson. And Joel, it's the middle of November. Fishing season only goes on for another couple of weeks in a lot of the rivers and streams in western Montana. And we're gonna give it another shot for today. Hopefully we can go out with a bang.
Yeah, it should be a great day. Let's go see what
All
we
right,
can do.
sun's out. We're gonna fish some egg patterns and let's go do it.
Cool. Hey everyone.
During the months of October, November, December, the brown trout are spawning, and it's a perfect time to go out and use egg patterns to try to target those browns and rainbows that are feeding on those eggs. Not all brown trout spawn in the same place or at the same time, so it's important that you have a variety of egg patterns to choose from. At the beginning of the spawn, you want to use bright fluorescent colors. The fish are going to be looking for these, they're going to be keyed in on them, they know it's that time of year for the spawn, and they're going to be looking for these bright colored eggs. One of the great patterns to use is from the Montana Fly Company called the Otter Soft Milk Egg. And the great thing about these flies is that they're soft, they're rubbery, and they're somewhat chewy. And so what'll happen is those fish will grab them and continue to kind of chomp on them because they don't have hands. They're trying to figure out exactly what that egg is and if it's edible. As you get further into the spawn and the fish has seen a lot of eggs at that point, you want to use more natural colors such as these. Again, a couple of great patterns from the Montana Fly Company, the Otter's Soft Milk Eggs, as well as glow bugs and various other different cloth patterns are great patterns to use during the middle of the spawn. As I mentioned before, not all brown trout spawn at the same place at the same time. Oftentimes what will happen is a female or male will come into those beds and move out those eggs that have already been fertilized. That's when you want to use a pale pattern such as these. Basically mimics a spent egg, and again, that's a great way to attract them later in the spawn season. One more idea to consider when you're out fishing with egg patterns is bring along a couple of different markers. I usually like to bring along a green and a red colored Sharpie, a permanent marker. This allows me to maybe color or alter those existing eggs just a little bit, maybe add a little red yolk dot or something like that to make the egg look a little bit more realistic.
Whoa! There he went. Got my rig still, so that's good. Well, that was a nice way to start off the day. Let's go get another one. There's another fish. Nice. Oh. this one's got a little sport in him. Whoa. Big fish. Looking this way. Beautiful fish, fought real hard, nice and heavy. Nice, that was a nice fish.
Big Sky Outdoors is brought to you locally by your Montana Honda dealers. and by Parkside Credit Union.
At Town Pump, we appreciate the opportunity to serve you and give back to the communities we live in. Come check out our expanded wine areas with a great selection and low prices. This month's specials include Budweiser and Bud Light 18-pack of cans or bottles just $16.99. Hunter's Sack Lunch is only $7 and High Country Jerky is just $14.99. Thank you for supporting our Montana-owned and operated Town Pump stores, fueling your Montana adventures since 1953.
Glacier Real Estate understands why you live, work, and play in Northwest Montana. Let Tim Gravel and Kenyon Matheson help you buy or sell your next piece of the Montana dream. Call Tim or Kenyon of Glacier Real Estate today.
I'm gonna start right here and just work my way up. Oh, there's a fish. Not a terror. Just wrapped himself around my legs. Oh my gosh. Where is he now? This is a fiasco. This is a fiasco. You know, we've been targeting these rainbows in a little shallower water and in pocket water and up against the banks. Second cast, we hooked into this guy. All right, not a bad little rainbow. Let's see if his big brother's in here.
As Joel and I have been walking around this rock garden, we came across this perfect red. It's been swept clean. We don't see any fish on it, but we're not gonna fish it. That is right where the FFAs are, the future fish of America. We don't want to target, walk on the beds or anything like that because we want to come back and fish for those fish next spring. Instead of targeting those reds, what we're gonna do is target the same type of water we would target during the normal rest of the year, during the summer or even the spring water. Nice, fast run into a deep pocket or deep hole. Fish are gonna be right there as well, looking for eggs. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that was a fish, I blew it. Ah, he's right there. Right off the edge of that rock right there. Just blew it. Ah, shoot. All right, let's give it another shot. I also want to briefly describe our setup that we're using today. Both Joel and I are using 9 to 9.5 foot 5-weight rods. We're both fishing 2 flies or 2 egg patterns. My first egg pattern that I have on is one of those Otter's Milk eggs, and it's a kind of a pink, light pink color. And then I've got about 18 inches between my first fly and my second fly, and my second fly is kind of a glow bug, kind of a light pale color. And then I've also got about 2/3 down that line between the 2 flies, I've got a size BB split shot to help get those eggs down near the bottom where those fish are looking for them. The reason I chose to use these colored of eggs is that the reds that we've seen on this particular river don't have any fish on them. I think we're just a little bit past the main spawn, so we're into that post-spawn season. Therefore, we're gonna use a little bit more pale colored of egg. One thing I want to mention about the indicator as well is I like to use small, white, or clear indicators. That way you're not gonna scare the fish as you're fishing some of these smaller, more shallow holes. Another thing I want to mention as well is I'm using 1X tippet and leader. And the reason for that is when you're hooking these fish, You want to really be able to lay back on them and not have to worry about snapping them. For years I used 4 and 5X when I was fishing egg patterns, and there's so many times where I snapped them off, and so I finally learned my lesson and I'm going with 1X, and it doesn't seem to affect the amount of fish I catch, and it holds most of the fish on. Oh, there we go. Nice. All right. Yep, took that smaller egg. It is somewhat skinny, and so I think it is post-spawn, and so they're looking for those more pale color of eggs.
There's a fish right out in that shallow water. Little rainbow. Rainbows like eggs.
Counter Assault, manufacturer of the original Bear Deterrent, has been in business for 30 years. Proven effective through scientific and university testing, Counter Assault set the standard for what wildlife professionals recommend to deter bear attacks.
As a National Park Service ranger for nearly 30 years, I trusted Counter Assault as my first line of defense for bear encounters in the field. My staff and I knew firsthand the effectiveness of Counter Assault Bear Deterrent, and that's why we trusted Counter Assault.
Carry what the professionals carry. Counter Assault Bear Deterrent. Look for the red can.
With your on-the-go lifestyle in Montana, it's nice to have peace of mind behind the wheel. And the 2016 Accord with Honda Sensing is safer than ever. This driver assist technology reduces the potential of a collision by alerting the driver and can actively steer and brake in emergency situations. For all your running around, the Honda Accord can be yours with 0.9 APR from your Montana Honda dealer. Honda, it's the perfect ride from Montana.
The car, the house, the future. You've got more than a few things to think about. Fortunately, Parkside Credit Union can help. All those difficult decisions, we make it simple. At Parkside Credit Union, we like to say yes.
Army-Navy is your hunting headquarters. It's the best place around when you're serious about saving money on the things you need to go hunting. Knife sharpeners, wool gloves, backpacking meals, optics, socks, boots, insoles, stoves. Why, it's a virtual hunter's checklist. All name brands and all at fantastic savings. On Highway 2 in Evergreen and Highway 93 in Whitefish. MontanaArmyNavy.com.
Get out and live it. So this time of year when we're looking for fish that are taking eggs, a lot of times right up against the bank underneath the low-hanging branches is a great place to target them, like right over here. We're gonna go give this a try and see what we can find. Oh, well, we got one. It's not the monster we were looking for, but it is a fish. Little brown trout.
think a lot of people get pretty intimidated about going out in the late fall and early winter and trying to fish, stand out in the water. They think they're gonna get cold, think they're gonna get wet. And on a day like today, there's no excuse. And it's really just about preparing, just like you would any other outdoor activity this time of year. And it basically comes down to layering and protecting your extremities. First and foremost, you gotta protect your core. That means wearing shells, down jackets, fleece, polyester and nylon blend undergarments. That's what's gonna keep you warm. A couple of quick tips when it comes to protecting your extremities. Wear a beanie. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but that'll keep not only your head warm, but your whole body core warm as well. I always carry this time of year some neoprene gloves. They're cheap, they're affordable, they're less than $20. They're gonna keep your hands warm and dry. They've got a rubber palm so you can handle fish. You can feel the line on your fly rod as well. You gotta keep your hands warm. And last of all, feet. Got to keep your feet warm. It's probably the #1 complaint that most people have fishing this time of year. The water's cold. It is. Keep them warm. I always take some neoprene socks and some heavy-duty wool socks. The combo together, along with my waders, are going to keep me nice and warm. Oh, I just had a bump. Just had a bump. We've already talked about keeping your core and extremities warm. I think a lot of people have concern that in the late fall and early winter when it's cold, that they want to have to take their glove off in order to tie on a fly. And I'm going to show you a way that by using your hemostats, you can do so with only having to do one loop. To demonstrate how to do this, I'm going to go ahead and use a streamer along with 1X tippet. And the most difficult part of doing this, of tying on a fly using this method, is just getting the end of the tippet into the eye of the hook. Once you've done that, you're mostly there. So then just pinch the two ends together, grab your hemostats, stick it in the loop that you've created, and spin your fly 4 to 5 times around. Grab the end of the tippet, the tip end, and pull it through that loop. Boom. And there you go, a quick, easy way to do a fisherman's knot. You can do it with your gloves on, you can do it with small bugs, and that way you're not trying to twist and wrap around a small tippet or leader onto your fly. One more thing to consider when it comes to your clothing. Last week, my brother and I had a great trip on the Big Hole River. We floated down, caught lots of rainbows, lots of browns, had a fantastic time. These are the boots from that trip. As you can see here, they're still a little bit wet, still a little bit dirty from that trip. I am not wearing these boots, I'm wearing my other boots. And the reason for that is I don't want to pass along any other parasites or other aquatic invasive species that I can't see that might be on these boots to this water or any other water throughout the state of Montana. You've heard in the news recently, not only on the Yellowstone, but other 7 or 8 other waters in the state of Montana that was affected by a parasite this past fall and summer. Let's not spread that. Let's keep our boots and our equipment clean and dry.
Glacier Real Estate understands why you live, work, and play in Northwest Montana. Let Tim Gravel and Kenyon Matheson help you buy or sell your next piece of the Montana dream. Call Tim or Kenyon of Glacier Real Estate today.
This week's outdoor report from Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks is brought to you by Parkside Credit Union, the best place for the people of Western Montana to get a loan.
Game warden, show your hands!
Every new game warden attends the Montana Law Enforcement Academy to learn the skills and knowledge for a job in law enforcement.
I think the driving was probably the most fun. I mean, that we had a good time. You know, we get 2 people in the car and they say go drive fast and swerve around and stuff, you know, learn all these cool skills.
Funnest thing we've done so far was going to the range. Just lots of shooting, lots of fun, so that was good.
The deadly encounter scenarios were pretty fun, pretty intense.
Let's go, Ben!
But a game warden's normal duties can differ greatly from other law enforcement.
So a lot of the people here kind of say the same thing. They're like, man, you guys are crazy. Everyone you talk to has a gun. And they say a lot of the times here, you know, you're always dealing with people on their worst days, and that's not necessarily the case for us.
A lot of our contacts with people are, it's a good contact. There's not a problem. We're just out there, it's the best day of their life, where we get to see them on that day most of the time. So I think that's the real perk about our job.
Did I see life jackets for the...
After the academy, a game warden will be taught a variety of other skills to protect Montana's outdoors.
How to operate an ATV, or what to look for when trappers are out in the field, and how to pack a horse or a mule. And those things the academy doesn't teach. They're not designed for that.
This diversity of knowledge will allow a game warden to become a part of Montana's outdoor community.
Once they get infused into a community, we expect more out of them than strictly law enforcement. They need to become a member of the community. They need to interact with landowners and hunters and anglers, you know, at all different levels.
I'm Winston Greeley, out among Montana's fish, wildlife, and parks.
That's a nice looking rainbow. And away she goes.
Well, Joel, it's beautiful weather. I mean, look at this. It's sunny, warm. We didn't catch a ton of fish today, but that's okay. Any fish that we catch is a good fish, right? This time of year?
Yeah, and the couple that we did get were real beauties.
Yeah, you caught a couple nice ones.
Pretty fish, fought hard, had a fun time.
Yeah, it was great. Hey, thanks. It was fun fishing with you today.
Yeah, thanks.
Right on. We'll see you next time on Big Sky Outdoors.